What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rewind with Rekenya. If you're new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment below when you're done so we can get a conversation going about this topic at hand, which is Aaliyah. So I can't believe Lifetime whitewashed Aaliyah like this. Like, after I just gave them credit for the Wendy Williams movie not being totally trash, I wasted over an hour of my life watching this off-brand bio. So because I'm a glutton for punishment, I finally watched this travesty of a bio called Aaliyah, the Princess of R&B. And this is a 2014 TV movie from Lifetime. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Aaliyah, she was a 90s R&B singer. She's from my city, Detroit. Aaliyah got her start in the industry at a very young age. She sold millions of records. She was a trendsetter, fashionista, actress, socialite. And she had a very interesting life before her untimely passing in 2001 when her plane crashed. So to begin, I have to say that McDonald's commercials have more soul than this movie. The movie did her absolutely no justice. Like, from the beginning, they couldn't even use her music, so it takes away from it being a musical bio. Like, can you imagine what the Temptations movie would have looked like if you couldn't hear their iconic songs like Just My Imagination or My Girl? Like, it wouldn't have been the same. So the movie opens with a young Aaliyah singing on Star Search, and they kind of rush through that and make her a teenager almost instantly. But they could have actually showed her as a young adult flashing back to that moment versus us wasting that time. Elise Neal is there. She's playing Gladys Knight, and after the way she acted on Hollywood Divas, I don't really want to see her either. So the actress playing Aaliyah, who is Alexandra Shipp, she doesn't look like her. She's just light skinned. Like, sis doesn't have any swag, just a bandana and baggy jeans. Like, I literally booed at the screen. Dude from She's Gotta Have It is here playing her uncle, and again, the look is not looking. And then, boom, R. Kelly is introduced. And y'all know that can't end well when it comes to this story. So, the actor playing R. Kelly, he talks with his tongue, and that bothers me. I know that's not significant, but it is to me. And when was R. Kelly buff? Like, I was around in the 90s, I don't remember. But whatever. So they show them like almost instantly connecting and crossing the line, being that she's 14 at the time. And this just isn't a Lifetime story to tell, so it's cringy.
I'm the girl you
And
want to
as an
bet.
avid watcher of BET, specifically 106 and Park, and even MTV during Aaliyah's career, this doesn't even sound like her. Like, it feels so unseasoned. So after they work on her album, AJ Number But a Number, it comes out, and Back and Forth is released. Y'all know that was a bop, and people are loving Aaliyah. She's Macarena Big, if you ever watch Booty Tang. And she's doing interviews, and she's all over the world, and it feels fake. Like, I know it's a movie, but it feels extra fake. The costumes feel just like that. It's costumes. Luckily, Aaliyah just had long black hair, so they didn't have to do much for that, because they didn't do much for anything. But I've seen Instagram models do better Aaliyah impressions than this. It just doesn't feel authentic. And I hate conversations in bios where we don't know what's being said. Like, we don't know that she was adamant about being at R. Kelly's house and saying that she hates to be away from them. And R. Kelly was telling her, like, oh, you have to wait. Like, also, she's supposed to be a kid. So it feels wrong because this woman who's playing her is playing her at 14 and also at 20. So I wasn't feeling it. Not booed again. Boo. So they go and get married, but they don't show this part on the screen. They just come back to her parents' house and tell them, like, oh, we're married now. And of course, rightfully so, her parents are not having it. Like, her dad snaps, but not enough to me. Like, they do tell them they have to get it annulled, and, her dad basically like jumps on R. Kelly and he leaves. And she says, like, that's my husband. And she goes full Disney Channel and scream, like, I hate you. And her dad, and it's like, did this conversation happen? It just don't sound like what we hear from, Aaliyah, even watching different interviews of her interactions with her family. This fell off. So her parents hug it out. I don't know why they like hugged in that moment, because mine would have still been stumping me out. But she goes to school, and it's a sad montage about the forbidden romance and her heartbreak. And it's supposed to be sad, but again, because we know she's a teenager and that was a grown man, it's not. I also don't like that they don't really show that was significant. That this girl had a record deal and an album out, and she was still going to school and still doing amazing in school. But it's Lifetime. So she starts writing her next album, and she's whining about not having Robert to help. And this background music sounds like they use one of those tapes from like a Lifetime Christmas movie, and it's just not a vibe. So more montages of her in random baggy clothes instead of her iconic looks, and she's going all over promoting her music. And then she meets with the label, and they want for her next album like the hit makers like Rodney Jerkins and Vincent Herbert to do her next album. But she wants Timbaland and Missy, and she's saying that even though they're still kind of low key at this time, that they will be significant for her album. And she's giving this speech, and they have melodramatic music, and it's not working. Also, her uncle was kind of just like sitting there listening, and from what I've read about his role in her career, I just don't see that part happening either. So R. Kelly gets married to the lady that does those routines on Instagram all day, and Aaliyah hears the announcement. She's sick about it. So we again kind of flash forward, and it's 1996 now, and Lifetime apparently doesn't use Google, and they just cast two random people that look nothing like Missy and Timbaland. And I think this upset me the most because who are these people? Like, it's 1996. Missy was not skinny like that, and this wig she has sitting to the side, she had the finger waves around this. I'm like, who are these people? Timbaland is talking in this tone that I've never ever heard him talk. It's just, I'm disappointed. Like, apparently they couldn't use all of their music either because they give them this old, like, unseasoned beat. And it's really disappointing. So her brother is also here, and I'm happy they do include him being a part of her career because he was. Her brother was shot, and he's played by a dude from Degrassi because y'all know I don't know people's names. So Aaliyah wants to break into film, and she states this like over and over, but this talent agent is basically telling her no, and she's rebuttaling with, Whitney Houston did this with The Bodyguard, and he's not convinced. But if you watch like The Queen of the Dam, then like she did amazing despite the movie being medium rare. So she performs in an outfit similar to the one she did, the One in a Million, in the One in a Million video, but she's singing Marvin Gaye, and she has topless male backup dancers. Like, I don't know what this was. Like, I tried to fast forward, and it had to be the longest performance of the movie. It was so long and drawn out. The dancing was awful. Aaliyah was a dancer. Like, I love watching her videos to see her choreography, to see all of the details, and this didn't do it. So it's 1997 now, and she's on the radio doing another interview, and the host was saying like, you're now officially the princess of R&B. And I'm assuming they couldn't use whatever radio station this was. They kind of just made an off-brand one, one of the big New York stations. So again, she states that she wants to do a movie, and now the talent agent wants to sign her. It's like the same dude, but he's like, I'm back, like I want to sign her now. So he wants to put her on the Anastasia movie soundtrack, and boom, we're in 1998, and it's her Oscar performance. And it was actually an amazing performance, by the way. And I didn't realize that it was nominated for the Best Original Song, but like I was giving Lifetime a point for that, including that. But then I took it away because when I heard them singing it in the movie, it's just so bland, and it feels soulless. So she gets the role in Romeo Must Die, but they don't talk about that, like showing it. They could have had another bad actor playing DMX or Jet Li. Like, why didn't we include that, those moments? So her mother's talking to her, telling her that she's worried about her because she hasn't had a serious relationship since Robert. And this conversation is cringe. Ugh. Like, why would your mom be saying that to you? So they show her with her friend that she had shouted on the radio, Keisha, that they never showed before this or after it. It's just so insignificant. But they use this as a moment for her to say that she was born in New York and she's going to a Rockefeller party this weekend. Like, okay. So they play some more offbeat fake rap music as she's in the Hamptons, and she's being introduced to, well, we're introduced because they don't actually show her being introduced to him, but a young, tall, light-skinned Dame Dash. Like, who is this guy? And I'm offended. Look, once again, and I'm surprised that Dame Dash didn't sue because he don't play with his likeness either. But anyway, they hit it off. A quick in love montage happens because they're just rushing it. And they toasted her winning the role in the next two Matrix sequels. And Dame Dash actually said this. And I think this part was kind of sad because it's a lot of kind of foreshadowing of, she isn't going to be here for certain things. So she does sing The One Who Broke My Heart, but that still feels like an after school special with her like doing like a talent show. Like she's on the stage by herself. It just doesn't fit. But I didn't realize that she was going to do the Sparkle remake. I believe Dame Dash said that also in the movie. But I think that would have been dope, and especially the one that Whitney Houston ended up doing. But she's preparing for her video for Rock the Boat from her upcoming album. Unfortunately, after this video is done, she does pass away. And again, this is really sad because she's talking about when she gets back and her and Dame Dash and these plans they had. And so we do kind of cut to the screen, saying after the video was completed of what happened, that their plane crashed after they were leaving. Aaliyah was only 22 years old. And I remember that day. My cousin and I, we were crying watching the updates from MTV because it was one of the saddest days ever. So overall, I think my biggest issue with this movie is the lack of the good storyline, the music, the singing, the dancing, the costumes, the acting, and it being on Lifetime. Like overall, I give it 4 thumbs down. The DeBarge movie was actually better. But seriously, Aaliyah was extremely talented. She was beautiful. And I think she was on her way to even more success and just lost her life way too soon. But she lived a really amazing life. Like, I understand the issues with her estate and not having the music available, but you could have done better than this Lifetime. And it made it a more cohesive and enjoyable story that really told about who she was, because we got nothing from her personality. It made her a little like whiny, and I'd never have seen her come across that way. So I just really hope that she can really get the movie that she deserves, because this wasn't it as usual. But anyway, let me know what you think about this movie. If you thought it was good, if you thought it was bad. Let me know what you thought about the acting and just the lack of like costumes, or it just didn't fit for me. But let me know your thoughts. Be sure to subscribe. I'll be back soon with another video. Okay.